Do we want to do it with the full name?
Do the full name.
Okay. All right. I'm Tyler.
And I'm CJ.
And this is the 2025 AWS. I gotta pull up the full name. Okay, here it is. Okay. I'm ready. I have it in front of me.
Okay.
All right. I'm Tyler.
And I'm CJ.
And this is the 2025 Formula One AWS Gran Premio del Made in Italy ed Dell'Emila-Romagna Grand Prix. That is its full name. Okay.
It's lights out and away we go.
FP1. What happened?
So, McLaren is fast again, despite them saying that they probably won't have pace regardless. Colapinto didn't do very much. Gasly always quick in FP1s. One time,
For whatever
he
reason.
actually is fast. And Red Bull brought some upgrades, but didn't seem to be amazing. And Gabby had a big crash at the end. That's pretty much the session.
Yeah, Colapinto, nothing seemed to change. He did about his. I mean, he had a little bit of race pace in doing, but he's not doing too good. Probably brought in a bit more sponsorship money, considering like Argentina's like state oil company is like supporting him or something.
Yes.
FP.
I would also like to point out that Aston Martin was a half a second behind the leaders on the softs in that session. That was definitely interesting to see.
Yeah, good to point that out. FP2, yeah, sure was quick again. Red Bull started improving, and then Hamilton and Ferrari had more scuffles.
I mean, they had stopping issues just like Miami. Also, Franco is just racing everyone. Like, it's not even the race yet, and he's already racing all of the big names, even though it's only practice. He was ready to get to racing again. And he raced everyone. He raced Max Verstappen, Lando, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, just all of them. I found that funny.
Yeah, no big wrecks there. FP3 was a pretty standard, just some final running. Lando ended up top in that session, and nothing super special there. Qualifying, on the other hand, was very interesting. Q1, Tsunoda in the Villeneuve chicane, after only running 2 laps, huge wreck, but then just gets out of the car like nothing happened. Spins it, tumbles, kind of rolls like on the side of the barriers, and then when it falls, it looks like a tire Lightning McQueen with the 2 tires sticking out at an angle and the wing part broken off the front wing, so it looked like his tongue. I saw that on Reddit, and it looked really funny. But he walked away from that unscathed, which was he just got out of the car and walked away in Tsunoda fashion. So that was glad he's okay, because that was a big crash. Also wrecked in in FP1, and over the radio he just kept saying sorry and had like a very soft voice there, like almost like he was scared of what Flavio was gonna do when he got back to the garage.
Yeah. I mean, he just got the seat. He was just gifted the seat.
And he's already wrecked the car.
Yes.
No better than what Doohan was doing.
Yeah.
Justice for Jack Doohan. Yeah, and then the annoying thing about Colapinto's wreck was not the thing that he crashed, is that Ollie Behrman set a time in the dying moments of Q1 fast enough for 10th. And the FIA, being the FIA, deleted his lap time because they had thrown the red flag before it was finished. He did not get out of Q1. And then there was a little Mexican standoff going on between him and Bortoleto at the end, like both of them sitting in their garage, neither one of them going out, both of them just being ready to leave. And that ended up Bortoleto ended up getting 14th in Q2, so I don't really think it affected. I think that sub were slow enough that it was gonna end up there no matter what.
Yes.
Nothing really special in Q2. I mean, the pretty standard people were out who you would expect. I mean, Bortoleto and Colapinto were down there. Antonelli? No, scratch that. Q2, we had a 3 surprising exit. I mean, nothing Bortoleto standard, but we had Kimi Antonelli, who just wasn't showing very good pace over this weekend. Was never really high in the practice sessions. He ended up 13th. And then the two Ferraris, both out. They got P1 and 2 if you ignore the one in front of both of those, 11th and 12th, which the Ferrari experience it's true bipolar. It's crazy highs and awful lows, man. The Ferrari bipolar experience is continuing there. So, like, I sent this to you saw the thing I sent to the chill guys group, right?
Yes.
I sent a friend group of ours, like even some dudes that don't watch F1 thought it was funny. It was like a spoof article. It was like Charles Leclerc visits orphanage, and then it was a quote like, "You just look into those eyes and you see the sadness and depression," said one of the children. It was so funny and truly summarizes what goes on in a Ferrari. The depressed in a Ferrari memes are not an understatement.
Yes, it is an experience. It would be an experience to be one of the Tifosi, those diehard Ferrari fans.
Yes, it would.
Because one day, you'll be cooking, and the next day, you'll be miserable.
Yep. And then Q3, we had Max and Oscar had an excellent fight. Lando got his bottle out of the way, so he ended up P4. Russell did nothing and took P3 again. Albon and Sainz 6th and 7th. That's kind of their comfortable spot. One of them's up right in that 6-7 range about every race. Had Jean Gasly 9th and 10th, which again, all of that pretty standard. We had the standard top 4, the standard bottom fillers. Yeah, but then there was the Aston Martins. Fernando Alonso 5th,
P5.
and then Lance Stroll 8th. Now, I think the crazy about this is both of those times, Fernando and Lance's were set on medium tires. They were the only ones. Everyone else was running softs. They went out on mediums and set both of those times. They had brought some excellent upgrades and then brilliant strategy call. A very big gamble, but it ended up working out really well.
Wow, so they set
Qualifying on medium
times
tires.
on the medium tires. So Fernando Alonso could have been in the running for pole if he was on soft.
I think they were running slower on softs. Like they put on the mediums and they went faster because, like, as you see in the race, the hard tire I think ended up being the race pace tire.
Yes, yeah, the hard tire was superior.
Yes.
The medium tire was very inferior. So maybe the Aston Martin wasn't kind on its tires, so the soft was losing pace.
Yep, that's what I think happened.
As their qualifying runs went on.
That's what I think happened. For whatever reason, mediums were faster than hards for.
Yeah, that's good. We should run the softest set of tires every week.
Yeah, because what? Pirelli brought
the C6.
Yeah, which the C6 is new for this season. So
yes,
I think it was a mistake on Pirelli's part, a bad call to bring that soft a tire, just considering that the C4 ended up being the race tire.
I think soft tires make the race a lot more entertaining.
I'll give you that. It did lead to some.
I think we should do a soft tire every race. We need more pit stops anyway. At least that kind of brings me to one of my big problems with is that Pirelli, there's just not enough tire stuff happening with the tires. We have 3 compounds to use, but they almost all degrade the same way. Sometimes you get graining, sometimes the tires have a lot of drag, but they never like fall apart. The tires are all still relatively intact at the end of a stint. So, meanwhile, when we look at NASCAR and we look at Bristol in the past couple times in the practice sessions in the last 2024 spring race, the tires were in shreds after 40 laps. So I think Pirelli, we just need more pit stops in F1, and I think that would probably fix the problem with tires. But if we could get rid of Pirelli, that would be nice. Just get Goodyear to get F1 cars to run the tires to the ground. Yes, that's my hot take. That's my hot take.
I think it is a hot take, but I understand where you're coming from. 2-stop races are a bit more exciting than 1-stops, so I see where you're coming from with that.
Yes, and of course, if 2-stops more exciting, then then a 3-stop would be amazing.
3-stop would be interesting. Yes. I don't think the races are long enough to make a 3-stop viable each race.
Which is why we make the tires last shorter.
Yeah, I see your point. All right, let's get into the race. For once, Max makes a good and clean, and he make I mean, he's made clean overtakes before, but like Max makes a first lap overtake. There's no way to say that was unfair. So
Right. That was a clean pass.
good on Max there.
He was just really good on the brakes.
It was a very impressive move.
Franco, pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
And Leclerc ran Gasly off the road early in the race.
Yeah,
Probably should have been a penalty. You can't be forcing people off the track.
Leclerc, he had a much to the detriment of the Williams fans. He did it later in the race.
Yes,
So.
and I definitely think that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, but he gave the place back. So
He gave the place back after Lewis Hamilton overtook both of them.
yeah,
It was
we'll get to
far
that
too
when
late.
we get to that point in the race, the last few laps.
Let's see, Ferrari just really pretty fast in the race, though. Leclerc was able to undercut Russell and Nando in the first pit cycle.
The first pit cycle starting on like lap 5. Ocon
Yes.
didn't count coming in on the second lap because he ended up DNFing with a technical issue. So don't count Ocon as starting the pit cycle. I guess my take on what happened and why the pit cycles were so early, that everyone was estimating that like the hards would last like to around lap 20, lap 22-ish. Everyone started coming in around laps 8, 9, 10. I guess what I found is like the medium tires, they were good for like the first 5 laps. They fell off hard for a little bit and then recovered slightly. Because you see,
slightly, which is all.
yeah,
We saw our people in the one stop. They were running pretty good.
yeah, because
I
you
would never
see,
stayed out long, including Max and Lando.
yeah, Max and Lando stayed out and did really good. I mean, I think you see what with Piastri recovering. I don't remember where I heard this, but someone made a good point. Is that Lando has a bit better raw pace than Piastri, but Piastri has better racecraft. You drop Lando back in the field, I don't think he would have been able to recover like Oscar did. But
And I think that's
Oscar
probably
at
why
least showed.
Piastri's been having such a good season.
Yes.
Racecraft is really where the money's made in making the tires last versus Lando, who could be, but he's lightning quick, but doesn't keep the tires alive very well.
Yeah, Oscar at least showed that the alternate strategy was a little bit viable with his recovery drive, but he was the only one to do it well because Russell and Leclerc got stuck back there and only moved up after the VSCs. Yeah, the medium tire was weird. Russell was complaining about his car again. That's nothing new.
Yeah, that was probably pretty weird though. The rear end sliding around. I didn't see anything though.
Yeah,
but
I never saw anything
definitely,
either. They
definitely slowed him down.
They showed his rear facing onboard for a little bit and nothing. I didn't spy anything.
Yeah.
Then we
must be like something subtle that we can't see visually.
Something only drivers can pick up on. Yeah, Ocon's DNF came at like just the wrong time for everyone. Verstappen got in and out perfectly, and that basically sealed his win. And Norris had come in the lap before, so incredibly unlucky for him.
Yeah, that was a really bad break. And Piastri also, the McLaren pit crew was not on their game today, or just Sunday. Piastri had 2 bad stops, and Norris also had a bad stop as well. That was not
the
very
strategy
clean.
department was not there either.
Yeah, especially at the end after this first restart. And Alonso also just dropped like a rock on that hard tire. 0 pace on there.
Yeah,
The race pace really was just not there.
I mean, it kind of happened to Stroll too, but that's what we expect of Stroll, so it wasn't
That's
shocking.
what we expect from Stroll.
I don't really think Aston Martin fully grasped everything that their upgrades had done, because when the medium tire is your fastest tire and it's behaving weird, Aston Martin, they put out an excellent run in qualifying, but just they fell off hard in the race. I think they need to spend some time before Monaco understanding their upgrades.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Hamilton and Sainz pick up some great pace late in the race. Hamilton brings the car home P4. Sainz looked fast late, but I guess it wasn't as fast as I thought it was since he only finished P.
Yeah, then we had Kimi's DNF, which that was sad, man. It's this home race. You've brought your whole school class to show him around, and then you end up DNFing at your home crowd, your home race, like in the exact same spot, in the exact same manner that Ocon did, which I thought was funny. And I want to hear your thoughts on why they threw an actual safety car instead of a VSC for what appeared to be the same situation.
I think compared to Ocon, it was in a much trickier to reach area than it was for Ocon. I think there was a crane right where Ocon was. I think Kimi was a little bit farther down. It looked a little bit tricky to reach. Didn't seem like there were any safety crews nearby.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That could reach him quickly. That's what I think happened, but I'm not really sure.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah, some teams actually sacrifice some of their track position to get new tires in this safety car, which I thought was super interesting. They put Norris behind Piastri, which resulted in a little bit of a team. It didn't result in a crisis, but I think it resulted in a little bit of drama in the McLaren garage that I think might have cost McLaren a shot at the win, because Norris was on the fresher tires and they didn't let Norris through on Piastri to try and challenge Max Verstappen. They let them race, which I think probably cost them a chance at the win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think they had the pace to catch Verstappen just with the lead he had. The McLaren strategy it's weird. It's never what you think it should be.
Yeah. And I also have a hot take with Leclerc shoving Albon off the track. That should have been a penalty.
Yes,
he did
it
give it back
should
though, so followed all of the FIA's rules. But I think the lack of action taken, because Hamilton was able to get through on both of them, meaning Albon ultimately lost a spot overall. I think that really shows like the FIA is just not really responsive with their penalty system, and the way they give penalties, it doesn't really make up for what they're doing wrong. It just needs to change overall. I don't know what it would change to, but something needs to change to create some more fairness.
Yeah, I agree with you. Albon should have been P4 there. Yeah, I mean, Williams, I think they did an excellent job. They were running third for a good bit of the race. I was a little skeptical when they brought Albon into pit, under the safety car. I thought they could have stayed out, but
I think they were hearing Leclerc's radio messages, because Leclerc wanted to stop too. Ferrari just said no. Like, that was apparently they just didn't have tires, even though all the other teams had tires.
That's just so Ferrari to run out
And
of tires.
Yeah, ultimately Leclerc lost 2 positions because of that.
Oof. Yeah, Ferrari messed up again. What's new in the world?
And Lewis Hamilton did show a lot of pace and brought the car home P4. So well done.
Good job on Hamilton. I think that's one of his better non-sprint performances for Ferrari.
Yes.
So good job on him.
That was very well done. Very well done.
All right. I think that's it for the race. We've hit just about everything we wanted to do there. Over-unders. I'm going to go Albon, Aston Martin. I mean, this has been a trend. Albon's been getting over for the past few races, or at least been in the talks of it. Just he got up there. Williams made some good calls. They stayed up there. I mean, P5 isn't what they wanted, and it didn't represent how well they did, but he still gets me over. And then Aston Martin, they just, after the excellent qualifying, they just fell off so hard.
That was a disappointing race for Aston Martin. I think my over for this race would probably be, let's see, who should I over? Let's see. Yeah, my over here is Lewis Hamilton, because he got P4 after a mediocre at best qualifying, and just ultimately just had a really strong day, had a lot of pace. It was quite an impressive performance from the Ferrari man.
I think that's pretty fair.
And my under here would be George Russell, because he's been doing nothing and getting P3 all season. And this time he did nothing but got P7. So I guess he needs to be doing something now.
Yeah, so what do you give this race? I'll give it.
I'd definitely give this an 8. This was definitely the best race.
I think
an
8's fair. It was a good race.
Yeah, this was the best race of the season. I think the safety cars were pretty poorly timed. I don't think this race really needed safety cars because I would have been interested to see how all of the strategies would have played out.
I do not think this is the best race. I still think it was Australia, just for the pure chaos.
And the chaos with the rain. That is true. Australia was good.
Definitely one of the races of all this season. Maybe not the best, in my opinion, but up there. Second best. All right, Monaco's next week, so the race is held on a Saturday. So whoever has the best qualifying pace. So it's going to be a 1v1 shootout between Oscar and Max.
Yes, the race is held on a Saturday in a qualifying format, and the race on Sunday is just a formality.
Yep.
Unless there's rain. Let me check the weather forecast. If there's rain, that changes things. We need rain. There is rain forecast for qualifying.
And that'll be really interesting then.
Yes, and no rain Sunday for the time being.
Yeah, if it
Time of
does
the
rain,
race.
that'll be some chaos.
I don't know. The rain's forecast to come before
Hmm.
the qualifying session.
So maybe a drying track, that'll still be good.
I don't know. There will probably be events beforehand.
All right. So maybe
Maybe. Yeah.
who
Could have
knows?
some crashed cars that might not get to compete. Unless they're a practice session.
Anything could happen.
Yeah. I mean, we're at the time of recording, that's still 4 days out. So that can still a lot of room to change for that forecast. Yeah. Hopefully we get a good qualifying session. That'll be a
Yes.
qualifying session that I will be sure to watch.
Let's hope the Saturday race isn't boring this time.
Yes. And we have our triple header event. 3 crown jewel weekends
Yep.
in 3 different disciplines with the Coca-Cola 600, Indianapolis 500, and the Grand Prix of Monaco.
It's gonna be a good weekend for some motor racing.
Yes. Except for Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco, or it'll be, yeah. That's why I said it'll be a good weekend. It'll be a good. We have Monaco on Saturday,
Yes, weekend.
and then
Not just today.
Indy and the Coke 600
Sunday night. I'm excited. This is a big weekend.
Yes, it is. Right. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, follow or subscribe depending on your platform. Join the Discord if you want to talk to us. And we'll see you guys next time.